If we cannot shoot this in, we cannot film this video.
Okay. Oh, I guess we're filming the video.
Yes. Oh, what?
Nothing. Double cut. Ready?
Okay. Hey guys, what's up? It's Tachi and welcome to or back to my channel. Today we are joined with Kela, none other than.
Sorry.
Oh no, what is happening here?
This is the lip gloss.
Today we're going to be talking about our most recent episode of our podcast, Skinny Dipping, and just getting into it and opening up this very important conversation. What is the conversation we're having today, Kela?
Last week's episode was like, there's a lot in it. There's a lot.
There's a lot to unpack.
Like, you really opened up about your eating disorder recovery.
Yes, this is the first time that I have really openly and in-depth spoken about my eating disorder, so I know a lot of you guys have been waiting for that story and my eating disorder recovery. So if you guys have not yet listened to the episode, we highly recommend listening to the episode before you watch this video, but you'll also still gain a bunch of insight from this video alone.
Yeah, the video is gonna stand on its own, but also it does relate to last week's episode. We talked about body positivity versus body neutrality, and really got into radical self-love and acceptance and how that can translate into our lives. And it was really honestly like my favorite episode yet, I think.
Yeah, it's definitely also my favorite episode that we've done, because I like being vulnerable and I like really being able to just like speak truth, and I feel like that's why I've been loving the podcast so much, just because like longer form content, we just really get to dive into topics and really just open up these conversations. I know we say that a lot, but like that's literally what I feel like we're achieving, you know?
Literally, and just talking about stuff that's actually important and really actually getting into it, because sometimes it's harder to get into it in such short form content, mostly with like TikTok being so popular. It's like just like so short.
But I feel like we kind of fit into this sweet spot of podcasting where women / non-binary people, there's not really like a podcast like ours yet quite yet. I feel like we fit into that sweet spot of like people who talk about astrology, people who talk about our bodies and things that are important to women of our age, especially, you know, and like, I know that you guys have really been resonating with it, and we just hope to continue to reach more people. So if you guys with our podcast, please share it with your friends.
Write a review. That always really helps on Apple Podcasts.
Yes.
Like that's like
that definitely pushes it. So as we keep saying this opening up conversations term, like we want to open it up past just ourselves, you know, and we want to include you guys in the conversation, because that's what it's all about, and we want to hear your feedback, we want to hear your questions.
We asked you guys to send us some questions and comments about the episode and the actual topic of the episode so that we could kind of get into it further.
If you haven't subscribed already, make sure to subscribe, click the notification bell to be notified when we upload a new video, and also grab yourself a big glass of water and let's dive in. Let's just give a little synopsis about the episode and the main core topics so that we're all on the same page when we you know, go to look at the questions.
So you gave your experience, and that's something you guys can go and listen to on the episode itself, but then we got into body positivity. And what is body positivity, Tachi?
We defined it on the episode. I personally would continue to define body positivity as being and feeling positive about your physical body, loving the way that it looks, regardless of how it looks, and just being fully accepting of yourself.
Yeah, and regardless of how it lands like in society standards, and just like loving yourself for
who you are.
Yeah. Awesome. And then we got into body neutrality. So quick synopsis, what is body neutrality? Body
neutrality is loving what your body can do for you, what your body is in and of itself, you know, just your plain experience of your body, and loving more, not the physical appearance, not the way that it appears to other, but more, it stands alone as just this vehicle to carry your body.
Yeah.
I mean, to carry your soul.
Yeah.
The body is a vehicle to carry your soul.
Yeah. And then we got into radical self-love and acceptance, which you guys can check out this book if you want to know more that we talk about, called The Body is Not an Apology by Sonia Renee Taylor. How can we like quickly summarize that? Because it's kind of hard.
It's knowing that if you are alive, you are worthy.
Yeah, that's
when it
basically
really comes
that's
down
great.
To it. Like,
no, that's perfect.
If you are living, breathing, existing as a human on this human earth, you are worthy.
You are worthy.
And valid. To make it a little more interesting, we asked you guys to send in voice memos on this app called Anchor, where you can literally respond to our podcast episodes. So yeah, it's fun.
It's pretty cool. Like, it's a cool idea. I don't know. Which one calls you? Maybe Elizabeth?
Sure, Elizabeth.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Elizabeth. I'm so excited to be asking a question. I love this podcast. Thank you both for being so open and vulnerable and honest. in everything, but especially in this podcast. So I have a question for both of you. I'll start with Tati's first. How did you tell your loved ones / admit to yourself that you needed help with your eating disorders? And for Kela, you said you've always felt pretty confident in your body. Have you ever gotten hate from someone in real life / online because of that confidence? Thank you so much for answering. I love you both.
Aww. Oh my gosh, Elizabeth, first of all, that's like, you have a freaking Disney voice.
I go into more depth about this on the episode, but I really think that it got to a certain point where it was just like really bad. And also I went to this doctor and she pretty much told me that I had these 2 types of eating disorders and that I needed to begin to recover. I didn't really like tell.
I don't know, and like there wasn't a direct moment when you came to me and you were like, I have an eating disorder. We didn't talk about it a lot until after you were already like in
recovery,
on the road to recovery. Yeah, so
kind of just like happened where I was kind of told that I had an eating disorder more than me admitting it to someone else.
Totally,
even though I knew. Yeah.
And then she asked me, oh, if I've ever gotten hate for being too confident. Maybe I've gotten hate, but I don't hear it.
All I know is that there's definitely, I feel like in high school, like there was definitely girls that were just jealous, truly just jealous of like that.
Like when you act confident, like usually people, they hate on you just because of jealousy. So I don't know. I guess probably so. People used to be like the guys in my class.
Her butt so much.
Yeah, maybe. Or also like guys would be like, oh, how many like lines of like crack did you do this morning? Because I was just like so happy and like so like stoked on life. And that's probably like the only like real like hate to my face that I got. But honestly, I don't know. Act as if, baby. If you act confident, like people like usually will accept it.
Yeah.
And just be like, oh, they're a confident bad bitch.
Yeah.
Go off.
Go off.
Okay. Oh my god, I love this. This is Kira Goldberg.
Hi, my name is Kira, and wow, I just wanted to start by saying it's so cool that y'all are doing this. Oh my goodness. Huge fan of the podcast. Very inspiring. And fun little fact, your friendship reminds me of my friendship with my best friend, Lauren. It's crazy. What is your personal definition for self-love, self-confidence, and self-compassion separately? And like, how do you practice each of those things?
We're talking that it's kind of like all the kind of same thing: self-love, self-compassion, self-acceptance. For me, self-love is really setting healthy boundaries in my work life, with my relationships, because I know when I'm setting those healthy boundaries, I'm prioritizing my mental well-being, my physical well-being, my spiritual well-being. I know when I set those healthy boundaries, like I am performing, embodying self-love and self-compassion. What about you? How would you define self-love, compassion, acceptance?
Self-love, self-compassion, self-acceptance, I'd say that they all really blend together into just like an overarching self-love. I'd say it's just important to get to know yourself and what you need, because we're all different. We're all very, very different. Kayla, as she mentioned, setting boundaries. That's embodying self-love for you.
Yeah.
I'd say just like really taking time to listen to myself instead of like what an outward source is telling me I need to do. Because if I can really just like listen and sit and understand like what I need and do what I need to do, like that is in and of itself embodying self-love for me.
I love that. This is Stella Stevens.
Hello, my name's Stella and I'm from England. I'm 17 and I just want to say I really like the podcast. I think you both are really amazing. So yeah, just want to start by saying that. My question for you both is, coming off of the last episode about body neutrality or body positivity, is which do you guys think is the better mindset? Because I've kind of been grappling between the two for a while. I don't know which one is more suited towards me, and I guess it depends on the person, but just thought I'd ask what you guys thought, and yeah, have a nice day.
You have a nice day too. We love your accent. I really think it depends on the person.
It really depends on the person.
And I also think it depends on the day. Literally. I can do both, like depending on what is up. I think the easier one is body neutrality. It's just easier. I think it's more chewable for a lot of people. What do you think?
Yeah, no, it's definitely easier, and it's definitely, you don't have to do anything. You just have to exist. Whereas body positivity, like you kind of have to put effort into body positivity.
Yeah.
In my opinion. Or I have to put an effort for it. It's not as easy as just like accepting that I am the way I am.
Yeah, exactly.
Hello, my name is Fatima. I am from Mexico, and
I just wanted to say that you guys have an amazing, incredible, unreal way of transmitting energy. Like, when I'm listening to the podcast, I feel that I am talking with my best friends, and the only thing that changes is that I only answer myself, but that's whatever. Your tips are so incredible. Keep working hard. I love the content. I just love it. But yeah, have an amazing day.
Let's do it again.
Drink water and stay positive. Bye, girlies.
It was just a little love note. That was sweet though. This is Lilo.
Hi guys, my name is Lilo. I hope you're having a great day. I just want to say I love your guys' podcast, especially this one. It opened my eyes up to a lot of things. My question is, do you have any tips for someone who just started their self-love journey? And do you have anything you do specifically to help boost your confidence when you're feeling down during the day? And yeah, that's it.
Somebody starting their self-love journey. Yeah, just like try a variety of different things and really just like get to know what you like. That's something I have to iterate, that we're all just very, very different in the way that we can feel loved, especially from ourselves. Like, loving yourself is an entirely separate relationship, and the most important relationship that you will ever have is the relationship that you'll be in for your entire life. So really getting to know what it is that makes you feel loved.
Yeah.
So whether that be exercising or reading books or writing poetry or drawing or whatever sort of like form of self-expression or form of release that you like, do that.
I love that. And is there any like books you would recommend, like for that you started with?
I would say that a book I always come back to is The Untethered Soul. I've definitely told you guys about that one a lot, but I think it's just definitely one that really kind of just sparks an internal journey.
Yeah, I love that. And then she asked,
tips with confidence throughout the day.
Oh, yes. I think something that I've been learning recently, which I think is a good thing for everyone to learn. I forget who does the studies. It's a certain person that like studies this kind of psychology, I guess you could call it. But basically it's about changing your state. Like, you know how I've been talking to you about changing your state?
Yeah.
So if you're like feeling really like just not good at all, allowing yourself to change your state, because our minds are so fleeting. So for me, if I'm just like wake up and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm super anxious today, I just feel it all in my head and my chest and it feels really not good, I'll be like, what do I need to do to change my state? And sometimes that is jumping in the water, getting on the spin bike and working out. But when you change your state and you take your mind kind of away from what you're thinking about and almost distract yourself, when you come back to it, you kind of have a clear sense of how you feel. So I think that's what I do to kind of just like day to day keep myself like
feeling confident.
Feeling confident
on your
and
path.
yeah, and in line. Yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
Hey guys, I love you both so much. My name is Eden, and my question is about ego and how you guys are able to let go of ego in certain situations, whether it's like a fight with a friend and you need to let go to just make up, or if it's after a breakup and you need to let go of your ego so that you can move on. So yeah, any tips or your experiences with that would be lovely.
Cool. That's a great question.
That is
I
a
mean,
great
it's
question.
not easy at all. I'm like curling up in a ball because I'm like, it makes me nervous.
Ego. The ego is not you. It's not. And if you slowly but surely, I feel like when you become more spiritual or continue to just work on yourself, you come to this realization that like our existence is that of love. Like truly, like the spirit, the source, the inside, the who you are, like really deeply, truly, is pure love. And like that is, for me, the purpose of life, like to feel good and to like experience love. So if you can move through things with love, like as the kind of underlying, always there sort of mentality or place of intention, it's easier to let go of ego. Especially in those situations. It's a practice, you know, it's something that you have to work on and continue to work on. So I don't think that there's like one tip or trick to let go of it. If you are already trying and looking for tips to let go of your ego, you're letting go of your ego.
Exactly. I think that's the perfect way of putting it. And also like for me, because like I do get caught in my ego, and when you're a self-aware person, it can be very frustrating when you're in your ego. You're like, I know I'm in my ego, I want to get out, but sometimes it just feels so all-consuming that you're like, how do I do it? For me, sometimes I just need to say out loud, like if I'm fighting with my boyfriend or something, I'll literally be like, I'm in my ego right now. I'm like, I just literally need a second. Like I'm like, can you give me a couple minutes so I can literally come out of trying to win, like trying to be right? Like I don't always have to be right, but my ego always wants to be right, obviously.
Right.
Like she's like, I want to be right.
Yeah.
But I don't want to be right. Like my soul, my person, me as a like entity of life just doesn't need to be right all the time. It's not necessary. Like check yourself. Even say to your friend or your parent, I'm really in my ego right now, just can I have a couple minutes and then we can talk about this? Like that helps. Like check yourself.
Yeah, and if you're like in a moment with someone who won't necessarily understand what that means, because like you know, when we're kind of in a spiritual realm, we have these like
but also
terms.
like ego is like, you learn that in science class, like your ego and like your super ego.
Right, but like someone could literally be like, that's bullshit, blah blah blah, like, and just kind of like use that against you almost. If you're really like in like a moment, a heated moment. So if you can literally just be like, I need to take 2 seconds to breathe for myself, like, can we just have like a minute and come back to this? Like, I feel like that's even just a good place to start.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, it's Abby, and I'm just wondering, what is one piece of advice you wish you could tell your teen self, or just something you wish you knew growing up? Also, love the clothing brand and just love you both. Keep doing what you're doing.
Amazing! A perfect plug for Pronounced Sachi. If you haven't checked it out yet, make sure to click the link in my description down below. Sustainably made streetwear. Thanks though, Abs. Love you for that.
Mine is. It's not that big of a deal.
I was literally gonna say mine is like, the world doesn't revolve around you. Like it really doesn't matter. Like,
yeah, like it matters, but it doesn't matter like that. Like what matters is like
whatever
love.
issue that you're like experiencing or going through, or like hating or whatever insecurity you have. I don't want to invalidate your experience, younger self, but first of all, gonna get through it. Like promise. And second, it's just like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
I mean, it does matter.
No, it's like, it's not about invalidating. That's not the purpose. It's not about saying, it's like when something comes up, like work through it and it'll be like, it'll pass eventually. Like I know it's like the biggest cliche, this too shall pass, but it just like will. Like things are so temporary. Like the human experience, everything in it is so temporary, it's so fleeting.
But when it really comes down to it, the only real opinion that matters is your own. Like, who are you when no one's around? Do you fuck with yourself? Like when it's just you and your stuffed animals in your bed? Like, do you like yourself? Like, that's what matters.
That is what matters.
Like, do you like the way that you act around your friends? Do you like the way that you make jokes? Do you like the way that you conversate? Do you like the way that you show love? Does that feel good when you like sit with yourself?
Yeah.
Like, that's what matters. And if you don't, and if you're like, well, I really don't really like the way that I act or the way that I present myself or whatever, but other people do, so that's why I do it, they don't fucking care. Nobody, that's the thing.
Everyone's in their own world, in their own narrative. That's what I like to call it. Everyone's in their own narrative. Younger self, not you. Like me to my younger self.
Yeah, this is me to my younger self too. Like,
yeah, that is the best piece of advice, especially for like just kids in high school. It's like, man, it just doesn't really matter. You're gonna graduate and you might never see these people again.
Yeah. Literally. We really hope you guys enjoyed this. It's been really great to just hear your guys' questions, and
it's been so cool. Thank you guys so much. If you guys want us to do this again, like let us know, because it could be like a cool little like series.
We could even do it live on Instagram and TikTok if you guys are interested. Let us know. Give us some feedback in the comments down below. We'll also be responding to comments when this video goes live, so make sure to click the notification bell. We're always responding to comments right when we upload videos. You can also check out Kayla's YouTube channel, Kela Rose. You can find her on social media everywhere at Sundays KK. You can find me everywhere at Ringsby. Of course, listen to the podcast. That's like the main reason we're here. We really want you guys to listen to the podcast. Give us a review, download the episode, share it with your friends. We love you guys so much, and we will see you in the next video.
Yes.
Bye! Oh yeah, Tuesdays. Mark your motherfucking calendar. There's episodes on Tuesdays. Oh guys, I cannot believe I forgot to say this. Don't forget to go drink a glass of water.